come away with a victory. You advance to the next round. Overall thoughts on the way your team played tonight?
I thought in the first half we were pretty much in control, almost cruising a little bit. They gave us a lot of the ball, allowed us to kind of play at our tempo. I think we just kind of failed to finish our chances, even create at times. But man, what an effort! All the way to the final whistle, everyone was just hustling. No matter how difficult it got, everyone was pushing to the last minute and couldn't ask for more.
Yeah, they came out with a lot of energy, and there was a lot of times we were under, but I mean, you just got to stay organized, and we did exactly that, and we were able to continue to keep fighting and keep one out of the net. So.
On your game winner, it looked like Owen Zarnick cleared a little space out by the right post. How did you see that play unfold on the corner from Kieran?
Sometimes the ball finds you and sometimes it doesn't, so I told Owen I was going to run there, and he just pinned the guy, and I was free. So, yeah, they didn't expect it, and we knew exactly how they were going to set up on corners, and we took advantage of that. So.
I know you guys have some bigger aspirations than just winning the first round, but what does it mean to get that first ever ACC tournament win?
It's cool, playing the ACC for this is my first time, and we've played a lot of good opponents this year, and to be able to finish fourth and then move into this game and host the game and then host next as well is it's exciting. It's something we've never done before, and in a way it's history. We're making history, so we're happy about it.
Early in the season, Coach talked about Coach Ibarra helping out with a lot of the corners. Is he still helping with some of those plays and scouting that sort of thing right now?
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
We got to give him a lot of credit. He's always giving us something new to run, and I mean, I'm sure you guys can see it from the field. We're always kind of doing something a little bit different, and it's working. We got this guy at the end of the ball today, and it was great.
Anytime you get a shutout, obviously you're doing things well on the back end. Boston College has a really good goal scorer in Eklund, number 9. How much of your defensive focus was on him, and overall, what were the keys to getting the shutout tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we knew he's a big threat in the box. I mean, he's a big body for sure. We knew he wasn't going to really beat us athletically, but I thought the biggest danger man was the 21, trying to prevent him from getting the ball to Eklund, right? And I thought we did a great job. Of course, he's a great player, the 21. He's going to find times to wiggle free, but we did everything very well. And the same with Eklund. We were tight, didn't let him breathe, and, as a result, kept him off the score sheet.
You talked about how maybe you had the better run in the first half, but it was still equal going into the locker room. What kind of adjustments did you all discuss, or what kind of things did you talk about at halftime?
We could see how they were playing, and there was a little bit of adjustments to formation and stuff like that, and going into the second half, I would say you can make as many adjustments as you want, but in reality, if you don't come out with a level of energy and a confidence to continue to kind of put the team under, then it doesn't really matter. So there's some things we got to look at as a team for sure, but overall, just we're happy about it.
Bailey, just what's your relationship with Kieran like? You guys are the 2 set piece takers, and obviously you got on the end of his. Just what's it been like playing a good amount of soccer together over the last few years?
Yeah, I mean, we came in the exact same time, and we've played together for this long now, and we've had our disagreements and agreements. So he's a great player, and he's been a good teammate to learn about and get used to, and because in football you got a bunch of different guys on the field, so you got to be able to adapt and get used to new guys, and playing with him has just been a pleasure, like I said.
After a couple of your victories earlier in the year, your coach talked about learning to kill off a game at the end and see it through. Obviously, after your goal, you guys were able to finish it off and preserve the shutout. What was the key to killing this one off?
I thought it was our will and desire that kind of got us through that. I felt they had us under for pretty much the whole second half is what it felt like. And, like I mentioned before, everyone was just working their butt off to do whatever they had to do to defend, to run up the field, run back, track back, whatever it was. And, like I mentioned, defensively, that's all we can ask for. I think we can clean up some things in terms of managing the game. We had some reckless turnovers, but, yeah, defensively it was very good.
Yeah, for sure. You got guys up front who just run back and forth, and I mean even us in the middle. But you got to give a lot of credit to these guys. Keeping the ball out of the amount of shots that I think we limit. These guys limit or just block and get in the way, and the amount of you don't really see the running they have to do. It's a lot of sprints, and these guys do it. But you got to give them credit, and they keep the ball out of the net.
You advanced to Sunday to face Wake Forest, who you just played not too long ago. Is there any benefit in seeing a team twice in that short period? And what are your thoughts about seeing Wake again?
I mean, I'd say we know how they play, right? We've seen them once. We kind of see what their weaknesses are, and, we can go back to that film and see if we can pick some other things apart. How do we expose them even more? How do we strengthen our strengths, in a sense? See how we can capitalize. And I mean, I'd say that's the thing, but they're also coming back with revenge. So we know that. We know we got to come back ready to go come Sunday.
Yeah, it's always tough to win a second time for sure, but they're gonna come out and be hot for sure. But we'll be prepared, and hopefully it'll go the same way. So cool.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys.
So much, guys.
Congratulations.
That's it. Fire away.
When it was announced that SMU was moving to the ACC, you spoke at length about how difficult this conference is for men's soccer. How does it feel to have won your first ACC tournament game?
Yeah, we're happy. Yeah, I mean, ending a team season is always hard, right? It's always hard to get over the line because they have, there's caution to the wind and there's no, there's nothing to lose, so they'll do anything. But yeah, the credit to Boston College, a good team. Definitely tested us. Have some really talented pieces. So, yeah, happy to find the result. They made it hard. They defended well. We didn't really sustain enough possession in the second half. But yeah, this league is a monster. So I mean, I knew it would be a gauntlet, and I knew it would be really challenging. But yeah. Here we are in early November, and it's definitely lived up to the expectations.
You talked about how this conference schedule would get you ready for the postseason. I know you mostly meant NCAA tournament, but also did you feel that a little bit into the tournament game tonight?
Yeah. No, I mean, look, I don't know how many teams in the top 25 of the RPI we've played, but there's numerous. I mean, there's plenty. So, yeah, on any day, I feel very confident that we can play with and beat anyone. We can also lose to anyone. But yeah, this league has you very well prepared. I don't think we'll go into the NCAA tournament and we'll find a team that we look at and go oh, we've never been tested like this before. So will there be different teams in the future and better opponents or opponents that do have some different type of players, of course. But, yeah, the team is well seasoned and battered and bruised through the run of games we've put through. But, yeah, we're ready for the next.
Caesar and Bailey were talking about how they felt like you guys had a good run of the play in the first half, but obviously it was still scoreless at the end of the half. And then Caesar said he felt like you guys were under it a little bit in the second half, but that's where you got the goal. What did Boston College change to maybe tilt the field in their favor, despite the fact that you ended up getting the game-winning goal from Bailey?
Yeah. We changed a bit at halftime to try to be able to get the ball to more advanced positions in wider areas. And it kind of pulled us apart a little bit. I don't know. I'll have to look at the video exactly if it was exactly perfectly right or not. But yeah, I mean, they started stretching us and they made our strikers run, and then we couldn't get to the ball, and then we got pinned deep, and we still, one of the best things about this team is we defend the box really well, and they take great pride in denying entries and blocking and clearing and all that. But yeah, we were definitely tested. Possession in our half, they had a good share of the ball tonight. So were we dangerous at times? Sure, we created enough chances to score a couple, but yeah, we were under it, and that's part of the game, and a team is starts to become a little more a little more desperate. They put a few more numbers high. They kind of pinned us, and we had chances on the break, but we weren't clinical. So
To have a couple guys like Kieran and Bailey who have played a lot of soccer here, either the most or two of the most games played here for you guys right now.
for sure.
How big is it for those guys to step up in these types of games?
Yeah, I mean, Kieran and Bailey have both. They've started nearly every game for 4 years. Outside of injury and maybe a few bit of rotations, but yeah, they understand what it takes to win. They're both top players with really bright futures. So yeah, we can lean on them and several others. We have numerous guys who are a bit older and mature that when these games get hard, they've seen it before and they say, we're going to be okay, and we can weather the storm. And even if we do give one up, there's enough confidence and personality in the group that we can find the resolve to go again. So yeah, two guys who were massive.
And then just for you, how fun is it to see two guys like that step up with this step up in competition and to prove, they were recruited as American Conference.
Yeah.
Top level program.
Right.
Still to do what they've done.
Sure. No, I don't think the step up in conference phased either one of those guys. They relish those moments. Yeah, both are top players, and you could play them in the ACC. You can play them on Mars. They're still going to be really good, So, yeah. So, I think this is not something they were, not prepared for. These guys were just waiting for this type of, and they play better in big games. So this is, why they came here, to play in games like this and nights like this, and to play in games like we'll have on Sunday. So yeah, I'm happy with both of those guys.
Was Bailey the clearly designated target on that corner, or was it just right place, right time? And does Owens Arnett get an assist for clearing out some space?
Yeah, I didn't see the highlight yet, but they set up kind of interesting. They're zonal, 5 guys across the 6 and 1 guy down low, and the keeper's actually you would think with that many guys in that area that the keeper would be poor in the air, and he actually was quite good in the air tonight. So you can't just loft it in the middle. So, we said, have to target the zone. And, yeah, that was intentional for Kieran to put the ball into that space. Can't just loft it in the middle when they got 5 guys or 6 guys and a goalkeeper. They're probably going to clear it. So balls to the near post, balls to the far post, any sort of, combination we can do as well. But, yeah, it was 100% on purpose. Bailey was in the right spot, and I think Caesar was there, and so was O. I think that play was drawn up for. So, yeah, good finish, wonderful ball by Kieran, but that's par for the course at this point. He always puts the ball in a good spot.
You talked earlier this year about your team learning to kill off games once you got a lead in the second half and seeing it through. What did you think of the way your team saw this one through at the end?
We can be better. We can surely be better. We had multiple moments where we did the wrong thing. And we will sit in this very room in either tomorrow morning or in 2 mornings, and we will watch it. We are too mature and too prepared to take the risks we took at the end of the game. The game is about winning, and in order to give ourselves the best chance to win, we need to kill the game off in a more methodical fashion. So, we know better. There was a player who just came and said, "Sorry, coach, I know I gave you a heart attack at the end. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that." And I was like, "You're right. We will discuss it." So, so those are mistakes. We will learn. They will know. It's our job to educate and hopefully give them the reasons and let them come to the realization that this is the correct way to kill it. Like, keep the game on the edges, throw-ins, fouls. Those are our friend. Any sort of corner, like. Can't let the ball change sides. You can't take risks through the middle of the field, and you can't give the ball away playing negative. So we think we did all three of those in the last 5 minutes, but credit to those guys who did give it away. They worked back to recover the ball, and credit to a couple of the defenders who saw it out well with Martin.
You mentioned that these guys are built for games like this and Sunday. So Sunday you get to see Wake Forest, but you just played. Any benefit in seeing a team twice in short order like that? Or what are your thoughts about seeing them?
Probably not, honestly. Yeah, like, it's a good team. You won 3-0. But we saved a penalty at 1-0, and they had a handball called back on a counterattack off our own restart. So that was, Wake Forest can walk in here going like, we were toe-to-toe with SMU. My fear is SMU says like, oh, we beat Wake Forest 3-0, So it's our job to remind them of who Wake Forest is and how they play and how they can hurt us. We can have no arrogance about us with any team we play. There's a fine line, and we want to play right on that line between confidence and arrogance, but we cannot step over, and we have to respect every opponent. And Wake Forest is a big enough name and brand that these guys know better than to take anybody lightly, especially them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.